Hey guys, Sasha from netbooknews.com, and we're not talking about netbooks today. Well, I have a bunch of netbooks over here, I tell you that, because I've been also doing a comparison video with them. Looks a little bit, whatever, crowded over there on the ground. But it's all about Ultrabooks today, and that's why we have a bunch of Ultrabooks over here. And let's start over here. That's a Lenovo IdeaPad U300S. We have an Asus UX21, an Asus UX31. And these two fellas in the back, actually, they are not Ultrabooks at all. That's a Sony Vaio Z from 2011, and that's a Sony Vaio Z12 from 2010. Super pricey little 13.1-inch device with a 1080p resolution. What I would like to do is just to give you a quick roundup of which Ultrabook I really like and what I prefer. Well, right now I'm working on the Sony Vaio Z here. It comes with a dual SSD in a RAID system. It's a 256 gigabyte SSD. It's super fast, like 820 MBs a second read speed, 500 to 600 MBs write speed. I really like this device, especially because of the 1080p display, because I can have two websites open next to each other, and I'm using it for video editing. And it's only 1100 grams, super light, but also super expensive. This over here, the Sony Vaio Z12, was my previous model. It was also super expensive, a little bit heavier, like 1.4 kilograms or 1.5 kilograms. It also came with a 1080p display, also 13.1 inch. I preferred the keyboard compared to the new version. As you can see, it's way thicker, but it's still very cool device. Core i7, by the way. That's the Sandy Bridge Core i7, and that's the first generation of the Core i7. I can't even remember the name anymore. I'm sorry about that. Let's head over to the very new ones. Start with Asus UX31, 13.3 inch, 2066 by 768 is the resolution. That's the Core i5 version, 4 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabyte SSD from SanDisk. What I really like about this, it's very thin, it has this fantastic brushed aluminum finish. Really cool device. The UX21, if you want to have it a little bit smaller, it's more compact, 11.6 inch, but it also sports 1366 by 768 resolution. Also comes, this one comes with the Core i7 2677M. It's actually the same CPU that is also in the Sony. 4 gigabyte of RAM, 256 gigabyte SSD, and I tell you what, look how thin this is. 3 millimeters in the front, 9 millimeters in the back, and it sports this fancy Instant On feature from Intel. There you go, it worked. Let's close this one. Actually, I have to tell you, it's not the thinnest, it's maybe not the best looking Ultrabook, but I love this device. That's the Lenovo IdeaPad U300S. Now I love it, I like this keyboard. Great huge chiclet keyboard in this typical Lenovo style. It has this huge trackpad with integrated mouse buttons, and I love this physical feedback and how this is reacting. It looks really cool. I think it looks very professional. I think it also starts around $1,000 US. That's also that's the Core i7 version, also with the 2677. That means this is like 1,500 US, and also comes with a 250 gigabyte SSD. But let's close this. Also great brushed aluminum here, and it just looks good. It looks very professional. Let's compare them in terms of the sizes. Let's start with the Sony Vaios here on the bottom. And let's build a little Ultrabook sub-notebook stack here. You know what? The Lenovo is a little bit bigger than the Sony Vaio Z12. Let's use this one. What about the UX31? Here we go. And here comes the Sony Vaio Z12. And last but not least, the Asus UX21. So that's roughly around $12,000 of sub-notebook or Ultrabook goodness that you can see over here. Really cool devices, Ultrabooks, in my opinion. If you have to produce, if you need a physical keyboard, you know what, 2012 is going to be your year. It's the year of the Ultrabook. I'm very convinced by this. The manufacturers are really pushing this new category. And in my opinion, it's kind of a hybrid in between a notebook and a tablet, especially with devices like the Asus UX21. If you want to have a super compact, thin device, the UX21 might be the Ultrabook of your choice. But for me, I just need a 13-inch device, and therefore I think the Lenovo IdeaPad U300S is really cool. There's one disadvantage. It only supports a resolution of 1366 by 768, and I really need a 1080p display. But if Asus, there's a rumor right now that they will offer a 1080p display for their Ultrabook line. If Lenovo is going to do the same, and if they have some Ivy Bridge devices in the second half of 2012, hey Lenovo, maybe I'm sold. If especially Sony is not coming up with anything better. This device was like $4,000, and this one is $1,500, and therefore I think I might tend to get a new Ultrabook. So that was a little Ultrabook lineup, roundup, whatever. I'm Sasha from netbooknews.com with a bunch of Ultrabooks. Thanks for watching.